Baby, I know this ain't the tea you came here looking for, but buy it anyway, child. This tea got magical properties, honey. It'll keep you from looking embarrassed in your marriage all in these streets. Drop that in the description box and get you some of this NutriBurst and some of this CBD tea so your marriage can stay together. Black love. Ooh, child. Andrew Gillum identifies as bisexual. I told y'all way back when the Tallahassee girls been knew that girl for her works. I ain't never lied to you. Y'all want to talk about it? Pull up a chair because we got a lot to talk about. Here you go. So Nessa girl, I wake up from my versus party today all hung over and I got all types of texts and DMs about everybody wanting me to make a video about Andrew Gillum coming out as bisexual. So pull up a chair, y'all, because I got a lot to say and we got a lot to talk about. So before I even get started, let me say it, I expressed this to some of my close friends from college. After I made the first video about Andrew being found in the hotel room in his vomit, I felt really guilty. And I felt guilty for two reasons. One, a lot of blogs picked up Andrew Gillum's college friend exposes him as gay. That was the headline across a lot of YouTube videos and a lot of blogs. And that was A, that just was not my intention. And B, we were not friends like that. You know what I'm saying? I knew of him. I did not know him. We didn't sit down together and eat in the cafeteria or hang out in the dorm rooms. Yes, I was one of the campaign workers on his campaign, but I did not know him intimately. So that bothered me that people picked that up. And then the second thing was I got an email from Congressman Matt Gaetz, who I went to college with. We were friends in college. And I have not talked to Gaetz since we graduated. And the email read something to the effect of, "Oh my God, I saw your Andrew Gillum rant. It was so funny. Woo hoo 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 hoo." And I side-eyed the fuck out of that email and myself because I'm not 100% convinced that Matt Gaetz isn't racist, right? And so it bothered me that my video was kind of being used as ammunition against Andrew Gillum to a degree by those like Matt Gaetz. Like I could see Gaetz, you know, playing that video in the office for everyone to laugh at Andrew, and that was not my intention. I kind of felt bad about that. And it made me somewhat skeptical about even wanting to do this video, but the reality of the situation is that there just isn't any way I could get around not talking about it. And I didn't want it to be a situation where I was tearing him down or my video was used to tear him down. But there's just some stuff that we have to talk about, and I'm going to reconcile all of this by saying I'm not the one who put Andrew in this situation. He did. So first things first, let me start out by saying at this moment I have not got an opportunity to watch the full interview, right? Like I can't find it online. It's not streaming anywhere. I did see the highlights. I read as many articles and watched all the highlight videos I could find on YouTube. And the reality of the situation, y'all, it's really the bisexuality that people want to talk about. That's the part that everybody else will talk about. Whether he choose to run for office again, you know, yeah. But the part that y'all want to talk about is the gay bisexual part. And that's the part I'm here to talk about. So let's do it. I want to say this. From what I've watched so far, this interview was about providing clean answers, right? So for something that is so private and shameful, for Andrew to agree to do it, there has to be an agenda and objective. And I think that there are two things. It's to clean it up and save face, and for us to reimagine that marriage, right? I told y'all from the very beginning, for me and for most people, the scandal was not around the drugs. The scandal was not around the drugs and the alcohol. Yes, we don't want a druggie for governor of Florida, but the scandal, the most scandalous part of this was not the drugs and the alcohol. It was you being found in their hotel room with a man. And I am glad that somebody sent Andrew and his people my video, and I am glad that Andrew's Tamron Hall interview reinforced the idea that I do have a future career in being a damn fixer. Call me Olivia Pope. Because he needed a way to explain away that man. You had to, bitch, you was caught in here butt ass naked with this man. Now, before I get to this man, I want to say something to y'all why I never believed the drugs. All of y'all know my history with party drugs, okay? I don't run from that. I don't hide from that. That being said, I've been around things, and I'm here to tell you, this is how naive the average black person is to those types of drugs. In my first video, when the blood pressure machine was there, I honestly I thought that the blood pressure machine fell out of the doctor's medicine bag. The doctor that found the two, the doctor who put the room in his name. It took some of my white followers to drop down in the comment section and say, no, Funky Dineva, the blood pressure machine was for him to cuff his arm so they could shoot up. I'm here to tell y'all, the average black person don't know that, okay? I'm not saying there are not black people in several parts of the world that use heroin and shoot up. That shit ain't no common shit that black people do, okay? That was first and foremost. So that's why I was never 100% on them drugs, that those drugs was his. Secondly, as somebody who has gone out of town for the weekend and has secured drugs to party with for the weekend, a bitch don't go out of town and buy 100 pills. That's not how that works. If you going out of town with your homeboys and you going to party and you have somebody put you down with the drug man, you getting 2 or 3 pills. Oh, get me a couple pills for the night. Get me a couple X pills. Get whatever pill it is you pop. You're not walking around with a subscription, sound like the old folks, subscription for 80 pills. He's not traveling up and down the interstate trafficking a pill bottle full of 80, 90 pills. That's just not how this works. And anybody who does party drugs or does drugs or has done drugs socially can tell you that's not how that works. So I still am of the belief that drugs and that blood pressure machine and all of that type of shit was part of a master setup. However, Andrew gave them something to work with in his canoodling with this man. So let's get down to it, right? First and foremost, Andrew, for you to be part of the rainbow team, baby, you should have known how to do your makeup better than that, or told that white makeup person that did your makeup that if they didn't have your color, to just give you a little bit of concealer and let you go out there with a little liner under your eyes, some concealer, because baby, that makeup was atrocious. They had your ass on there looking orange like a terracotta pot. That's first and foremost, sis. Call me if you're gonna step over to the rainbow trial. We need you to be beat. A full beat, an even beat, a beat that match your complexion. You know, I don't necessarily like part of the tone that Andrew took when he was talking about the bisexuality. He was like, you know, the question that you did not ask, and the issue that I have is that people assume the absolute worst about me on that day. You know, he said that he feels that everybody should be able to make a mistake without every other redeemable part of their life being invalidated. And Andrew, while I get it 100%, bro, that's not our fault. That is yours. Because the only thing that we had to go off of was the limited information that we did not have. The reality of the situation, and you're trying to get us to believe in this interview that you are bisexual or whatever, which is a very clean answer, right? Because here is what bisexual allows. The I am bisexual allows for you to explain away this man and to explain being married to her, right? It's very clean. It's very convenient. And it may be true. You know, Andrew very well may be bisexual. But since you talk about questions that were not posed, the question that was not posed is, do you frequent prostitutes? Was this man your prostitute or was he your boyfriend? And was your wife aware of the fact that your ass was down in Miami having a rendezvous with a man? So in terms of us assuming the absolute worst about your marriage, no, bruh, we saw the shit for what it is. Okay, fine. Your wife did know you were bisexual. Fine, I'll give you that. Let's just say she did. Did she know you was in Miami full out line with a man that weekend? Did she know that you was with a prostitute? So don't make it seem like we did something wrong for interpreting what we interpreted based off of information that you never provided us. Granted, it's none of our damn business, but had people been provided the information from the front, then there would not have been no room for misinterpretation. I just did not like the tone of it. Like we the people did something wrong, A, for being interested in the damn story, and B, for assuming what it is. We're not dumb. We're not dumb, okay? The reality of the situation is this shit blindsided us the same way it blindsided your damn wife, okay? And you're not going to convince me otherwise. And it's not about this deep desire to not want to believe you and invalidate your situation, but we have seen this story so many times. We've seen it so many damn times. Now, because I have not seen the interview in its entirety, and I will have no problem doing another video once I see the whole thing, I am unclear on if prior to this scandal, RJ was aware that he was bisexual. Y'all drop down in the comments and y'all let me know that. Now, I'm tilting towards she was not aware, because I saw the clip where she says she was asked, had she known this prior to, would she have married him? And then she goes on to say that maybe not, because she couldn't answer, but maybe not because she wouldn't have had the maturity, you know, at 30 or a little younger than 30 that she has now. And then she started talking about how a marriage is a covenant between two people. Some people have open relationships. Some people have this, and that their situation was their covenant. So it left me slightly confused as to if she knew prior to the scandal or if she did not know. Somebody drop down in the comments and let me know. Give me some clarity on that. But the reality of the situation is, let's just go with she did know. I still don't think that she was aware of the fact that you were fooling around on her, because whether knowing or not, there was still cheating going on. And I'm sure that was not what that woman planned. Like I said, the whole bisexual thing, I don't know if Andrew is gay or bisexual. I'm going to tell you my experience being a gay man, being around a lot of people who struggle with their sexuality or who are forced out of the closet or whatever the case may be. While bisexual individuals do exist, it has been my experience that oftentimes when people are unable to say that they are gay, they do the whole bisexual thing because it's more palatable to the masses. It's more palatable for the straights. And it's like, okay, I don't want to be 100% demonized. I'm not like them. In their mind, they rationalize it as, well, I'm not as bad as a gay because I'm not gay. And so I don't need all the negative stigma that comes along with gay. I'm bisexual. And like I said, Andrew had to explain away that man, and he had to give us something to help us reimagine this marriage. And if I can be honest, all right, and this is not meant in any way, shape, or form to be a weapon against Andrew, and this is not me wanting to believe the absolute worst, but coupled with what I know about people who come from that FAMU, FSU political cloth, that went through that Tallahassee City Commission mayoral funnel, or whatever the case may be, there is and was this downward pressure to have the ideal family set up in order to make it politically, right? Like that was what they were taught, and it was pressure to follow suit. I am of the belief that Andrew is gay. All right. Now listen, that does not mean that he does not love RJ. Anything you fucking feed long enough, you'll grow to love. And that is the God honest truth. He can still love his children. He can still love her as a person and be gay. Again, and I'm not trying to invalidate nothing the man said, because I get what they're trying to do, which is clean this whole situation up. But bisexual just feels like a crisp, clean answer to explain why you were with this man and how you're still with your wife. You know what I'm saying? And it makes perfect sense for the objective. Because again, like I said, the scandal was the fact that you were with a man. There's a saying in politics that goes for a male politician, your career can survive everything except a dead girl and a live boy. You see what I'm saying? And Andrew, you had a live boy, or whatever the case may be. So this explains the marriage and the situation. Now, here's the thing, right? There's a part where Tamron asked him, what were your intentions in going to that room that night? And you give this crisp, clean, practice vague, evasive answer that I was going to do anything that anybody else does that's in relation with somebody. Listen, you was going to fuck and party and have a good time. Like, come on. We're not stupid. We're not stupid, and we're trying to work with you, right? Like, if there's any hope that you are going to have, and see, here's the thing for me, right? You even said you have gone through all the shame that you could possibly go through surrounding this situation. So then why not use this opportunity like Whitney Houston did when she did that interview at Oprah? She said, I'm doing this interview one time, I'm coming clean with all of it, and I'm not talking about it again because I'm going to give you everything. Give the people everything they needed. You went to that bed, you went to that hotel room to fuck. Okay? You went to fuck. That is what we do when we go back to hotel rooms with people who we are in romantic relation with. You went back to have some more cocktails, to loosen up, and to fuck. Why else was your clothes off? Okay? You didn't go back to the hotel room with your cousin. You didn't go in the hotel room with your homeboys or your line brothers, which people do. But I don't take my clothes off with my line brothers and with my cousins. You went to the bedroom to fuck. And it's okay. Like, the worst of it is already out there. You don't have to, you was already caught with the man in pictures. Just tell the damn truth. Okay? Because we're not dumb. And the reality of the situation is nobody's believing these vague, evasive answers. Now, granted, you and RJ have given us enough to satisfy our thirst. You have. Because you were going to have to admit to some of it. And you didn't do it from the goodness of your damn heart. You didn't do it because you thought it was cute. You didn't do it because you thought it was the right thing to do. You did it because you had to. If there is any hope that you are going to rebuild any sort of political career or have any, successful career in the private sector, which I really do think Andrew can and will do, then yeah, you are going to have to clean this shit up. And hats off to you for having enough courage to clean it up to the best of your ability. Like I said, bisexual was great. Had I been y'all fixer, had I been your fixer, I think the more effective way, like I said in my previous video, was for you to have shown up on the cover of Out magazine, Glad magazine, with RJ, her new man, you, and your new man, and call it the new normal. You know what I'm saying? And then the interview would have been You know, RJ talking about what she went through and how she moved on. You talking about the pressure that the world put on you and to not live your truth, and now you're finally able to live your truth, and how the two of you co-parent. Now that would have been the perfect way to put a bow on this whole thing, and then everybody would have been back championing you. But this, you took option of A, B, and C. You took option B, and this one is okay. This one's going to require a much longer road to rebuilding. I think had you would have did it the way I suggested, it would have been bomb. 30, 60 days, you'd have been over and it'd have been like, all right, brother, what you doing? What you out there doing? We ready to support you. This method right here is going to require Andrew to do a world of public good with some tangible, quantifiable results for people to get on board again. What do I mean by that? All right, so now we already know that Andrew is bisexual and he got a wife, and the wife is in on it. So that's now clean. We now accept that. That is nice and clean. She knows what's going on. There's no lies in the marriage. Whether there was some lies previously, there may have been, but now she knows. So since she knows and she's okay, then we're now okay. But what's going to have to happen now for people to truly get past this is literally going to have to be front page news. Andrew Gillum provides housing for 1 million Florida residents. Bam. Andrew Gillum provides free lunch for over 10,000 impoverished kids in Florida. Bam. Like something like that. Andrew Gillum secures $5 million grant from FEMA to rebuild impoverished areas. Bam. It's going to have to be something like that. So when your name comes up in politics again, people are able to say, now you know what, he did some shady shit in the past, but he gets shit done. That's what's going to have to happen now, taking the road that y'all chose to take in order for people. One thing about the American people, we are very forgiving and we do have very short attention spans. And just as long as people are benefiting from what it is you are doing, they are able to overlook your transgressions, i.e. Donald fucking Trump. Now there's one thing Andrew did get right in this interview when she asked him did he still have a career in politics, did he still want to do it. He said if he puts his mind to it, he was like, I mean, hell, Donald Trump is the president. Now the one thing that Donald Trump has that you don't is white skin. That's a whole nother conversation for a whole other video, but it speaks to the underlying psychology. If people are getting something from you that they can quantify, whether it be energy, whether it be reinforcement in their ideology, whether it be monetary gain, whether it be a tax cut, they are able to overlook your transgressions because they benefit from you. So Andrew is going to have to find a way for we the people to benefit from his existence, from him being in power, from him being in office. It's going to have to be big, tangible, quantifiable in order for people to be like, you know what, he was in that hotel room 10 years ago with that man, but that's all right though, bitch. I got 25% more in my check. I got 25% more in my check. You know, oh, my property taxes fell by 30%. I don't care what they say about him. He might like men's and he might like to toot it and boot it every now and again, but I got 25% more in my check. That's what's going to have to happen. So Andrew Gillum people, y'all looked at my first video and took my advice and you got it semi-right. This is the second phase, baby, when y'all get ready to launch phase B. And I'm going to tell you something. I realized the other night, it just hit me, why I am actually so good at this review stuff and so good at fixing and so in tune. I realized the reason why I am so in tune with what the average person feels and thinks is because I really do have a higher than normal level of emotional intelligence. You know, and that's not a humble brag. It's just the truth. I have a very high level of emotional intelligence, and it allows me to speak broadly about what the average person would like and would require. Do I think that Andrew Gillum will ever be in the running for mayor again? You know, that is a hard one. That is a hard one. Much to his point, it is going to take a lot of hard work. It is going to take a lot of hard work from a very grassroots approach. It most definitely won't be the next election, and it probably won't be the one after that. His hair might be good and gray or good and fell out by then, because it looked like it's falling out now. I don't know if that's hereditary, or if that's stress. They got it looking real bald up in there. While they was putting that orange makeup on your face, they should have found some black powder to fill that in. Whole nother sis, just calm down and get your beauty, your health and beauty together. But there's a possibility. I mean, there's a faction of people out there who are going to be committed to not liking him and not redeeming him for whatever reason, and you're never going to be able to win those people over. But those people that straddle the fence, you automatically got the black people. It's those people who really take and call into question character and morality. It's those people that you are going to have to work hard into convincing, or you're going to have to put something in their lap. I think if Andrew does do that, there is a chance, and enough time passes by, there is a chance that he can get back into elective office. I mean, hell, if it ain't governor of Florida, it could be the mayor of Miami Gardens, or the mayor of Fort Lauderdale, or superintendent of schools, or something to that effect. I definitely see Andrew having, listen, any private organization would be lucky to have him. You can't knock the fact that this brother is charismatic, that he's smart as a whippersnapper, and his track record speaks for itself in terms of what he is able to do professionally. There's just, you can't deny him in that regard. And so that being said, I definitely see Andrew in the nonprofit sector, being a CEO of some huge nonprofit, some sort of private organization like that. I definitely see him, and maybe it's through these organizations that he's able to put something tangible in people's pockets to help them, glaze over what's going on. I will say this, the approach that they took, RJ is definitely a better woman than a lot of women will ever be, because she fell on the sword. RJ fell on the sword for Andrew in this one. And, some people may argue that's what love is all about. Like, that is what a couple is supposed to do. That is what two married people are supposed to do. Like, I'm not going to turn my back on you during this, and I am going to help you even if I have to fall on the sword. Because that's what she did. Now, I don't know that woman's brain, and I don't know what's in her heart, but I know the black woman very well. And, that lady was distraught and devastated that she was fucking embarrassed that her man was found in a hotel room in a pool of his own vomit with a naked prostitute. Okay? That shit, that ain't, she's still mad. She's still at home making his ass sleep in another room. Trust and believe. But what she said is, I'm committed to this family. I'm committed to the mission and the vision. And nigga, you gonna pay me for my pain. Oh, bitch, I'm gonna be in a governor's mansion. I'm gonna be in a mayor's mansion. I'm gonna get something out of this. I was your lover and your secretary for too long, and you owe me. I'm gonna get something out of this. And again, it goes back to my first question of, did she know prior to them getting married or not, which is very important, because that then helps us understand the covenant that they have, so she says, that they were forced to now share with the public. It is not far-fetched, because I have been exposed to women who just want to be in the governor's mansion, who have volunteered their services as a beard. Yes, I want the status and the lifestyle. I mean, hell, look at damn Pastor John Gray's wife. Yeah, the covenant is, bitch, I want to be rich, I want to live lavishly, and I want status. In exchange, I'm going to marry you, and in exchange, I'm going to put up with whatever so I can reach my goals. It's not far-fetched to believe I'll be your wife and bear your children. In exchange, I get a master suite in the governor's mansion. It's not far-fetched to believe that could have been their arrangement at some point. But I am of the belief that going into the whole situation, that the woman was she voluntarily chose to be naive. That's the best way to put it. Based on how she imagined what her life would be and what she wanted out of life, she made the conscious choice to overlook the rumors and the things that people were saying in Tallahassee. Because again, I was there when he was there, and it was not a secret. Now that he don't came out with it, I feel like I can be very blunt and transparent. It was not a damn secret. Everybody damn knew Andrew Gillum canoodled with men. It was. And if anybody was in Tallahassee during that time, and I didn't even go to FAMU, I went to Florida damn State, and that business made it across the damn tracks. So I know the FAMU constituency knew. Everybody damn knew. Everybody knew. So she had to know. She had to know. She may not have had it proven, but she had to have heard the rumblings in the street, and she had to be, based on what she imagined for her life, been okay with it and made the choice to voluntarily overlook the shit. And we do it all the time in relationships. We do it all the time because we want what we want. As human beings, we want what we want. You know, y'all, that's all I got. Like I said, I'm going to watch the full interview whenever I can, and if I have to come back and do a second video to clear up some things or to make some retractions and corrections, I am willing to do that. But y'all wanted my thoughts on Andrew's situation. I will say this, my brother. You know, while this situation made for great gossip, it made for great water cooler talk, it made for great jokes, there definitely is a master calling that has been put on Andrew's life. And now that we have gotten all the jokes out of the way, we have laughed, we have gotten down to the rooter-tooter of the situation, it's now time for this man to be put back to work. And it's now time, you know, it's funny because you can still do the good of being the governor in a non-governor gubernatorial capacity. And like I said, whether that's through a nonprofit, whether that's through whatever, I commend RJ and Andrew both for now, with all of the information and all the cards being on the table, to make the decision that they've made to rebuild and navigate this thing called life honestly. Like, at least at this point, we can all rest assured that RJ now has all the information that she needs about her husband, and we can rest assured. And she made the conscious choice to stay, knowing what his affections are. And I'm sure she has asked him all the questions that she needed to ask, and we should be good with it because she's good with it. And you see how now there's no scandal. There's no longer any scandal. My wife knows I like to have sex with men, and she's still here. If she like it, we love it. There's no scandal. Just moving forward, for those of y'all out there, I'm just here to let y'all know, when you're black, the rehab defense doesn't work. Like, white people get the luxury of going out and running a tractor trailer through a busy club and running over 30 people, and they get to go to rehab and all is forgiven. Jussie Smollett tried to, you know, it's so funny because there's a running joke where it's like, all Jussie need to do is go to rehab and all will be forgiven. Unfortunately, the rehab defense doesn't work for black people. So moving forward, before you do some stupid shit, just recognize that going to rehab don't work for us. If shit works for white people, rehab ties up, because white people sometimes they can attribute all their bad behavior, lapse in judgment, and poor thinking to drinking or drugs. They go to rehab and all is fixed. That don't work for us. We have to do interviews and tell all our business, and we have to get our wife to sign on board and to co-sign our bullshit. But nevertheless, I wish Andrew and RJ the best, and hopefully they can put this to bed now. It's all out there. It may not be out there to our full satisfaction, but it's out there enough for us to be satisfied with the master part of the scandal, which was that damn man and now we can move on. That's all I got. Ain't got no more. Y'all be sure to like and subscribe, and I'll call y'all later. Bye.